I promise you won't be disappointed. Welcome home. This is Life by Design Podcast, episode 17, How to Get to Financial Freedom. Okay, this whole podcast is about building your life by design, so we cannot leave out the method to get there, to get to financial freedom, right? And life by design is pretty much not working for many, just living, enjoying your life, spending your time with your loved ones, traveling, do whatever you enjoy. But in order to do that, you need money, obviously, to pay for your housing, to pay for your living expenses. And today, I'm going to share with you my method of getting to financial freedom. So, I am so sad. I recorded 22 minutes just before this, and I forgot to turn on my mic, so there was no sound. I was so sad. Anyways, so I am in real estate, and I might be biased, but I think the best way to get to financial freedom and to build your life by design is in real estate, especially real estate investing. And let me share with you my story. So in 2019, we decided to invest in real estate. And we live in a really expensive area. We live in the Silicon Valley, the Bay Area. We do have a home here, but to buy a rental, everything is so expensive. Even if buying a townhome or condos, it's 700 to 900,000. On top of that, you have $500 HOA fee, and that would eat up all of your cash flow. And not to mention the rental probably not going to cover mortgage. So every month you're just kind of have to feed in money to your properties. But the thing is, if you sell that property in 3 to 5 years, you do walk away with a chunk of big equity because of the way the real estate increase here. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to feed into my property, paying my tenant to live here. So I thought to myself, what should I do? Was there another city that's similar to Silicon Valley, but cheaper? And obviously, it just do some Google research, and I found a list of cities that have tech company that growing really, really quickly. I set a budget for us at 300,000, and I narrowed down the city within that budget. So at the end of that research, I found one city that we can actually invest in, and I found a couple properties that we're probably going to purchase. Because being in real estate, I'm around a lot of investors. They always tell me a story of what to do, what not to do, or if they can go back 10 years earlier, they not going to do this, or they're going to do things differently. And so I took all the advice and I thought to myself, okay, in order for us to invest remotely, meaning we're not going to be able to drive there if tenants call, we're not going to be able to, hop on the plane and get there right away if they're destroying the property or if major things happen. What kind of products can we buy? And I narrowed down to new to brand new construction. And so, we just have our criteria, have our price. We contact a real estate agent in that city, and a couple months later, we got our first rental property. And then I think maybe like 5 or 6 months later, we got another one in that city because it was doing really, really well. And I'm sharing with you this because I see the power of investing in real estate. And I don't see it for myself just yet. Maybe this year I did see it. But for a lot of people, a lot of other investors, they always tell me the beautiful thing of cash flow replacing the income, and they don't have to go to work 9 to 5 anymore. They can just work on passion projects and yada, yada, yada. So this year, my husband, who is a numbers person, I'm usually just a decision maker. You know, I can make really quick decision on the spot, but numbers, I'm not a very good candidate for running numbers. And I know what you're thinking. I'm Asian. I should be good at math, but I'm not that type of Asian. So he got a net sheet for us and he ran all the numbers and he asked me, do you know how much cash flow we had from all of our property this year? And I thought, I don't know. How much? And he said $20,000. And I thought to myself, wow, that's pretty good. That's more than what I thought. So before, when we bought all of our properties, all the cash flow just go into an account and we never touch it. And I thought it's going to take a while for those to, be big and we'll be able to use it. But in a short 5 years, we turn whatever we invest into a pretty decent amount. And we're actually planning to move to a different city the end of this year. And I honestly think with the changes in the interest rate, so last year the interest rate was really high, so prices dropped. This means this year we're going to pay less property taxes for these property, meaning we're going to increase in cash flow. And then we actually increasing the rent across all of our rental, and that helped our cash flow go even higher. So if this happen and we move, all the positive cash flow can actually pay for our new home, a mortgage. And that means my husband can maybe step back, take a couple years off, take a break, and really think about his next adventure. What's he going to do with himself in order to have more time to spend with the family and just live? So it's pretty exciting, right? And I'm not sharing with you this just to brag, just to tell you that, oh, we have all the rental property and we have all the cash flow, we don't have to work. That's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to share is for you to see the picture that with planning and with the right method of investment, you can get out of 9 to 5 and live the life that you wanted. But it takes planning and you have to do it now. And to be honest, my husband and I are living in a really expensive city and we both have pretty high income. We live a wonderful life. I mean, we travel all over the world and, life is just great. But then we're actually expecting a baby. And I just looked back at our lifestyle and thought, where is the baby going to fit in? We live in an area where everything's so competitive and people care about bonuses, money, buying the next best car, the next best house, the next best neighborhood, the next best school district. And we're going to have to work all the time. And then we're going to have money to hire a full-time nanny. But then when are we going to get to see our kid? When are we going to get time to actually enjoy a sunny day in the backyard with our baby? I just couldn't imagine that with the same lifestyle. So this is the first year that I start to start to research, start to look back at our rental and our investment and think, can these help us in a way to replace this lifestyle so that we can take a step back and really enjoy life and really building a life that we want to live. Because life is short, very, very short. We all live in this life like we have unlimited time with the thing that we put in our body, with information we put in our mind, with the thing that we do that we abuse our body. And we think we're never gonna die. We just have unlimited time. But you hear on the news all the time that people pass away in their 40s. People are just die in their sleep and they're healthy, exercise all the time. And it's scary. It's very scary. What if you're in your deathbed and all you can think is how many promotion you got, how many RSU that you collected, how many fancy cars, fancy house that you bought. And none of them involve your family. None of them involve experience. None of them involve traveling, seeing the world, seeing this beautiful earth that we're living in. I think that's pretty sad. And I think about that all the time. I wanted to be in my deathbed knowing that I've done everything I could, knowing that I live, knowing that I spend time with my family, knowing that I help my family if they need to financially, knowing that I give my kids the life that they deserve, the time that they need, and a childhood with both parents present and not just money thrown into their face. So I think you have to think about the life that you want to live and start planning now. It's never too late. And I think with real estate investing, honestly, because we live in such a fast-paced world that everything just happens immediately. I can order an item on Amazon today. I will be delivered tonight. Like, that's how crazy things just get here. Or I can just sit here literally talking to the camera and order something on Uber Eats, and 30-45 minutes later, the food will show up by the door and I don't need to leave the house. So people think that investing in anything, it's like an instant. It is not a 12, 14 months return where you can plan your exit in 12 to 14 months. And during the pandemic, there was so many people leaving their job because they start to realize that all they do is working, right? They have all this time, not traveling to the office, not sitting in the office, not sitting in traffic, and start to think that all they do is work. So they just quit, travel the world, and have zero plan. A lot of people have no plan. And then they would go on a trip and they would find businesses, they would find opportunities and stuff like that. I'm not those type of people. I cannot go with no plan because I don't just live for myself. I take care of my mom financially, and I want to make sure that the day that I leave this earth, my mother would be well taken care of. My husband, our child would be well taken care of with the empire that I set up. And my empire is real estate investing. And I hope that you take out a moment in your life to learn about your way of building your empire, your way of building your generational wealth, so that when you're not here anymore, or better yet, when you're here, you can actually get some fruits from that labor and really step away from 9 to 5, enjoy life, and live more. So take it from me. It can be stock, it can be anything. I just know nothing about stocks. I'm in real estate, so of course I breathe, live real estate, and real estate investing get us to where we are today, and I truly, truly believe in it. But let's say if you're a brand new person and you know nothing about real estate and you want to invest, what do you need to do? Very simple. Read some books. We live in a century where all the information is free. And you can literally Google anything. You can go on YouTube, learn about real estate investing. There's a really popular podcast called The Bigger Pockets, and they talk about real estate investing. If you're very new, there's another one by Bigger Pockets called The Rookie Podcast, and they're just interview these rookies, first-time investors. They're doing really well, and you can get ideas from those. Attend meetups. They have, if you go to meetups.com, they have these meetup groups that they meet once a week, once a month. You can get familiar with the people, familiar with the language. You can meet real estate agent. If you live here in the Bay Area, highly recommend you to buy your first home. If you're paying more than $3, $4, $5, $6, $7,000 a month in rent, please buy something and stop wasting money on rent. And I know you're probably not going to be able to buy a single family home. You're probably going to end up with a condo or a townhome. But because we live in such wonderful area where prices increase so quickly, you can live in that condo townhome for 3 to 5 years, sell it, and walk away with a big chunk of equity. So you can take that money, move on to your next home, or buy your rental out of state. But start taking action. So I hope this episode would open your world to different strategies to investing. I know I only talk about real estate. So I hope it will open your mind to real estate investing. And I am a real estate agent here in the Bay Area. I'm not promoting my business, but if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I'll love to give you some insight of what to do, where to buy, what cities are doing really good right now across US. And obviously my goal is for you to live a great life that you will design instead of living a life by default. Thanks for listening.